Hey gamers, welcome to episode 2 of my Escape from Tarkov standard account playthrough. In this episode we're going to be running into woods. Our only objective here is to get Jaeger's letter and get the hell out. I do have to apologize, the audio quality when I first recorded this was absolutely horrible. I don't know what happened, I think my mic got unplugged a little bit, and I'm going to have to voice over almost the entire raid. Some of the parts where I'm shooting at players or killing scavs or looting, you'll have the game audio, but for the most part it's just going to be me voiceovering the whole thing. This episode as well, I'm going to try out adding some sort of kind of mini-map indicator of what I'm going to be doing. So you'll see it right there in the top left about where I'm at on the map, what I'm doing on the map, and where I'm going. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode though. It's a kind of a slow one. I sped up some parts and slowed down some parts where you can kind of see what I'm doing. But for the most part, let's just hop right in. So pretty much right off the beginning, I'm going towards a known player spawn. And you'll see right here, kind of out of the corner of my eye, you'll see him running across a tree. I also have to apologize because at the beginning of this game, for the first like 3 or 4 minutes, I was experiencing a lot of frame rate issues. I don't know why, but it kind of fixed itself. I closed out of some stuff on my computer. I think that was the problem, is maybe I just didn't have enough RAM, all the stuff I was doing at the same time. But yeah, so as you see there, I pretty much just bum rushed it towards the nearest player spawn, knowing that I was probably going to run into a player that was running towards Sniper Rock. But I kind of had to go in this direction. And I didn't really want to run into a player, but I was just kind of expecting it. And so I saw him running across. Even through the crazy FPS lag that I was experiencing, we ended up getting him with 3 or 4 shots. Once I saw him drop, pretty much rule number 1 after you kill somebody is always make sure you have ammunition left to kill another person. Even if he hit you and you might be bleeding, just immediately reload. If you have an SKS, is extremely important because you can't really, if you don't have another mag, of course. If you're top loading the SKS like I am this raid, you have to make sure that you're always topping off the mag whenever you can. And in this situation, I was pretty sure he was alone, but you can never be too safe. And so I just backed off, crouched behind those rocks, and went ahead and topped off my mag. I looted him, and then I'm pretty much just heading straight towards the middle of Sniper Rock. There's a lot of really good loot to be had here. So right here, for example, is a technical crate. Technical crates pretty much just spawn any amounts of technical items and a lot of good barter items. I pretty much classify barter items as, matches, rec batteries, power banks, just all that stuff that's needed for trades or hideout upgrades, anything of that sort whatsoever. Technical boxes are really, really good for that stuff. And obviously there's always a chance for a graphics card to spawn in there, which is pretty great. Found some BT ammo here and dropped it on the ground. Never found it, gave up. Went over here, started looting this toolbox till I heard footsteps. What you pretty much saw me do there is I wasn't sure if this guy was alone or not, so I kind of double checked a little bit first, and then again backed off, loaded my mag. If the guy was kind of lagging behind, I would hear him coming up the hill. I was pretty sure behind me was clear as well, so I wasn't too worried about people coming up to my right. But you just back off, reload your mag, really be super sure that no one else is coming right behind him, and get to looting. For the most part, whenever you're looting, you kind of want to prioritize stuff that you're going to use that raid. So for example, if you're out of meds, if you're out of grenades, if you're out of ammo, mags, always prioritize those things. Second, you really want to prioritize in-raid quest items. So for example, my spark plug that I have, the relay is good for your hideout, duct tape, hideout, those kinds of things, quest items, and then hideout items that you need very soon. And then after that is just always go for the high dollar items. So anything obviously that's worth a lot of money to traders, or even better on the flea market, you prioritize those as well. But for the most part, you kind of, especially level 1 through 10, it's really important to get guns, to get ammo. Right here, I lucked out on some BS ammo, which is really nice. Just finished off looting this little middle area. But now is the time that I really just need to head towards Jaegers Camp. I really don't want to mess about too much. Got a couple of easy player kills, got a little bit of loot, but I really just need to get this letter and get the hell out. Trying to find Jaegers Camp is actually pretty easy if you have your right point of references. So if you're at the lumber mill, you know exactly where the lumber mill is. If you know where Sniper Rock is, if you know where the village is all the way on the east side, it's good to have these key areas that you know exactly where they are, so you can use them as a point of reference for where you need to go. Jaegers Camp is particularly easy to find when you get in the right area because there's an airplane that's crashed. You can use that, and it essentially just points right to where you need to go for Jaegers Camp. Me, however, I am already here at the bottom of Sniper Rock. I haven't really heard anything at the top of it, which kind of makes me assume that the Sniper Scav is probably still alive. Before you go up all the way to the top, though, go around that little right side and always loot this area here. There's some provisions, barter items. I think there used to be like ornaments and stuff, which makes me assume that there's probably rare loot spawns over here, like gold chains, maybe a roller if you're lucky. I'm not 100% sure, but chainlets, gold chains, all that kind of stuff. A lot of good stuff spawns here. For me, I luck out and find the 120 pack of BT, which is obviously really great. BT is pretty much the new minimum right now when it comes to what ammo you should be using in 5.45 AKs. Nothing really below BT is worth it right now. So finding a lot of BT, finding a little bit of BS, it's really great if I need to use those 5.45 AKs. Getting up to Sniper Rock, as you saw me earlier, you just jump up on the rocks, and getting to the top, you just have to do that little weird side jump there. And just jump your way all the way up to the top. Before you go to the top again, though, you really want to double check that there's not already players up there. Like I said, I didn't really think there was. So I was kind of being a little negligent here. But keep looking at the top of those rocks. People like to camp there because they can hear you jumping, and they'll just turn around and shoot you. Always double check back here. There is marked loot. Never found anything like really that good here, but chainlets, you know, it's easy money if you need to get a top off. There's a couple things here. Don't do what I do here. I went the complete wrong way. I tried to go up this little side ramp here, and then I was like, oh, it's here, obviously. Try to go up this little side ramp here. I have level 1 strength. I'm not making that jump. So just go over to the right more, past this tree, and this little ramp right here is the one you want to go up. As you're coming up, again, watch the tops of those rocks. That's where players like to camp and wait for you because they can hear you coming. You don't really know if they're there or not. So go to the left side, jump up on this little ramp here, and you should be pretty good from here because if players are here, you're pretty much on a level playing field at this point. So right now you're just looking for Sniper Scav. He spawns there to the left. For me, he's right here at the bottom. So pretty easy kill on the Sniper Scav. It's really nice killing Sniper Scavs. They have a chance of spawning with an SVD. This guy just had a regular Mosin, but it has a scope. It's pretty nice. It's always good to pick up Mosins. They're just like your go-to kind of budget gun. One tap anyone in the head. If you get some SMB, which is always really cheap on the flea market. LPS you can buy straight from proper level 1. He spawned with the shitty ammo, but that's fine. Pretty much all we can do up here. If we wanted to, we could try to peep out towards the lumberyard, but for the most part, with the scope we have, we're not really going to see much because it's raining and foggy, and there's really not anything for us to do up here. So we're going to head back down. This is where I go too much to the left here, so I'll show you on the map exactly the line you need to take to go straight for the airplane. I go way too far to the left, and you kind of want to avoid going too far to the left because that's where players can be lagging behind coming from that area, and you'll just be in a big open field. And that's exactly what I did, is I was just in a big ass open field. Here I tried to drop my bag because I was slightly too overweight, and I thought maybe dropping the bag would help. It did not, so I just said fuck it, let's just keep on cruising. So I put it back in there, picked it back up, and we're off to Jaegers Camp. Like I said here, though, when you're coming from Sniper Rock, go to the right more. I'll show you on the map exactly the dumbass path that I took, but you want to you kind of want to cut it in half. So the right, going along the rock here is way too far to the left, and then going straight towards the water is way too far to the right. You want to kind of cut it in the middle at a 45-degree angle. Go straight into the woods, and you'll run right into the airplane. For me here, all the way on the left, though, I swing it way too far wide, which really sucks for me, too, because I'm super overweight. I could have probably dropped my backpack somewhere, ran, got Jaeger's letter, came back, picked up my bag, but I kind of thought I was going on the right path, so I didn't do that. Woods is really weird because there used to be, it was literally just everyone was at Lumberyard. It was a huge shit show at the Lumberyard, and then everyone dispersed. But now you can run into players anywhere. I mean, you can legitimately run into a player at any point in the game, anywhere on the map, because people are lost. People don't really know exactly where they're going when it comes to their quests. So there's a couple new quests you have to go. Like you have to go mark the new mark circle. You have to find, Proper's convoy, all that stuff. So it's very, very easy to get lost. And it's very easy to just stumble upon a player, kind of like I did with that player at the top of the hill. He probably didn't expect for me to be there because he's just running around, kind of lost, and just ran into somebody. So perfect example here where I'm just crawling out in the middle of a field. You're going to want to not do that. Try to stay as much as you can in like the divots of hills. So if there's a hill to your left, hill to your right, kind of where I'm at right now, you have cover to your right, you have cover to your left that you can run to, and a lot of concealment on the way. Tall grass, bushes, trees, good stuff. If somebody has a line of sight on you from far away, you can hide behind so they can't just get the easy kill on you. Here exactly is where I killed that player earlier. So if I was actually quicker, I could have saved about 10 minutes by just killing that player and immediately going to my right. This is where I kind of realized, oh shit, I'm way too far to the left. This is literally where I spawned. I'm an idiot. So I kind of double back a little bit and start heading towards the right way, because I saw that village and I was like, wow, I am completely lost. And this isn't even the new area. This is essentially where like the edge of the map used to be, like to my left. So to my right there, I was kind of pointing out in the game that to the left, that was way too far to the left. I needed to go to the right more. And essentially, whenever you're overweight, my go-to is crawling in the tall grass. It's kind of hard for people to see you. Like if somebody does see you crawling, though, it's like the freest kill of their entire life. But it's kind of harder for people to see you because a lot of this grass, especially with the fog and the rain, it's really hard to see players. And so as long as you're down low where there's stuff on your right and left, you're not really silhouetting at the top of a hill, it's pretty easy for you to stay concealed. Okay, so I approach Jaegers Task kind of from the rear here. You can see I see the airplane off to my right, and it's just a little cabin on the floor, and the little wood is the letter that you need to pick up. Okay, so at this point, I'm here at Jaegers Task. I need to start heading towards the extract. My options are either to go all the way back the safe way, or to just go straight through your lumberyard, either the south way or the north way. I opt to go the south way. It's faster, it's more efficient, but it is more dangerous, as you're about to see in this next clip.
Oh, great.
Okay, at this point, I have a nade thrown at me. Someone's sniping me. They can see me, but I can't see them until, boom, right there. I just barely seen him go right to left across that tree. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I picked up this Mosin. Let's see if I can get a shot off on him. So I just peek a little bit. One little step, a little to the right, little step, a little to the right. And I barely see him. Shot him directly in the face. So that's really awesome for us, but I was also super paranoid that I saw two people, and I'm pretty sure that I did. I watched back the footage a little bit, and I'm like 90% sure there was a second guy right next to that first guy. I thought maybe he would have like dipped the fuck out after I shot his boy in the nose, but I wasn't sure, so I pre-medded up. I dropped my bag, that way I'm not overweight at all anymore. I have, full range of motion, I'm light, and then I'm thinking, okay, right now, I'm definitely not just gonna run straight up this hill, so I threw a nade, and I went to the left a little bit more, and then I was like, fuck, I'm just running up this hill, aren't I? I'm a fucking idiot. But I'm thinking, okay, let's try to attempt some sort of flank. I thought those guys were way more to the right, over by that rock. Completely misplayed this because he was actually right there next to that tree that I just passed. And if his duo was there, I would have got shot right in the face. So swing way further to the left. I tried to swing a little bit to the left here, but it was kind of a scuffed flank because I thought he was way closer to the rock. And it wasn't until I got closer to the rock that I realized, oh, these guys were nowhere near the main rock. And I'll show you the rock I'm talking about because I swing really far out wide here. And after rewatching all this footage, and you'll see it at the end of the raid as well, there definitely was a second guy somewhere who was watching me do all of this, either watching or listening to me. Because he definitely follows me all the way to the extract, and you'll see that after this. But essentially, I just wanted to come out from behind them, because if they know exactly where I'm at, it's really easy for them to camp in a bush and angle towards where I'm going to be coming from. But if I'm coming out from behind them, they have to completely re-angle their body, reposition. They have to just go off of their hearing. So I come up right behind where I think these guys are, and I think I have an angle on them over by the rock, but it turns out he wasn't anywhere near the rock whatsoever. He was right there next to that tree. And so I'm just still really paranoid that there's a second guy that ran away, and that's just going to be ADSing on this guy's dead body, which he should have been. And so I'm just kind of getting impatient at this point because I really wanted to see what kind of gun this guy had, because he shot at me with a surprise sniper. So I crawl up here. I definitely should have angled myself towards the left a little bit so I didn't get shot directly in the head from the guy at the rock. And here I'm pretty much just going to suck everything because I have my backpack still at the other spot. I have a big empty bag. I'm just sucking as much stuff as I can, take his tag, take the mag out of that AK, insurance fraud, my helmet, and my contacts, and I get the fuck out. I'm still not sure where that second guy was. Even after watching all of this, I have no idea where that guy was. I would assumed he would have shot me in the back right here. But he never did, and thank God he never did, because I get pretty much safely back to my little backpack over here, and I sort out all the loot. Pretty much, I could have done this a little bit better. I probably could have maybe got rid of the other Mosin. Not really sure. I mean, I could have min-maxed a lot more than I did, but honestly, it's just better that I survive. And so I'm just thinking, okay, let's top off on my energy, my hydration, drop some of the empty mags, drop some of the stuff that's a little lower value, keep some of the items that I know I need really, really soon, and just get the fuck out. I pretty much try to take the same path as I was going to earlier, and I run right up to this little sniper position up here. And I'm still really, really paranoid, though, that there's a guy to my right. So the whole time approaching, I still have my painkiller going in case he shoots me in the legs, but I'm just trying to get past this little area of this hill right here, because if somebody is behind me right now, they can still see me really, really easily. I go ahead and reload this M700 in case I need to use it. I try to find the mag. I don't think I actually ever found it. Nope. I think it might have gone into my rig. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, I'm just staying the coast. And this is what I said, guys. This is the faster way, but definitely more dangerous. I probably cut my time getting across in half by taking this path, even with running into those players. But it's worth it, in my opinion. Well, after the fact I survived, obviously. But the risk is worth it, in my opinion. The risk of running into players by cutting your time in half or even more than half. At the time, I was thinking that's definitely worth it. And so I'm just going to be stopping. I was thinking about dropping some stuff. Like I was like, maybe I'll drop this Mosin just to really ensure that I'm not overweight for my final sprint to the extract. But I said, fuck it. Let's just go. At this point, I was like, okay, this guy, I haven't heard anything at all. I was pretty much explaining here, like, I haven't heard any footsteps while I was over there. Didn't hear anything whatsoever. And so I just said, fuck it. Let's just beeline. I should have stayed up on top of the hill more, covered by trees and bushes, because there was a guy. I tried to zoom in there, but I couldn't see it. But he shoots at me right here. And I was like, what the fuck? This guy was following me this entire time. So I was freaking out. I chucked a nade. I was considering dropping my bag and taking that fight. I was like, all right, let's fucking go, round 2. And then I was like, I think I can just get a little bit of stam here, pop another painkiller, and just fucking sprint over this little hill. Because once I get over that hill that's right in front of me here, he's not really going to be able to shoot me until I get to the extract, in which I'll just have to run around in circles for a little bit, and I'll be fine because I'm at my extract already. So this guy kind of gets a little unlucky. I went ahead and laid down and just kept crawling because I was like, man, this is a pretty much do or die here. I'm just kind of suicide running towards the extract. And he is most likely still pursuing me. The grenade probably slowed him down a little bit, but he's probably like, I don't know, he's probably a good 60 meters behind me this entire time. And so I'm just trying to get to these bushes, get over these hills, behind trees as much as I possibly can. That way, if he does pop up behind me somewhere, he doesn't really have an angle on me. And even if he does, I can just drop down in this tall grass behind a bush. And if I really need to, then I can take my bag off and try to actually engage. But I end up just making it all the way across the hill. Once you see that car, you're pretty much home free. This whole area is the outskirts extract. I lay down and I successfully extract. So I'll show you on the map right here my super scuffed pathing for that entire raid. And at the end here, yeah, I get 3 player kills. But yeah, let's look on the map really quick. So at the very beginning, I pretty much sprinted towards where I thought Jaegers Camp was. I was way too far to the left and I ran into a player. At this point, I should have just ran to the right and gone straight for Jaegers Camp. I kind of messed about a little bit going up to the hill, looting some of the tech crates, toolboxes, looted sniper scav. Like, that was a little extra. I could have, and I probably should have just ran straight for Jaegers Camp and got the fuck out. But none of this other stuff would happen. I would have never killed that second player, and I definitely wouldn't have killed that third player. And it all worked out in the end. So right here, since I'm level 5 now, I can turn in the TAWS and the 3M body armor. I can also go to, I think I go to proper and, or to therapist, sorry. And I realized that I can turn in my Salewa. So you can go to your hideout, you can craft these Salewas. Now, they made it harder because you have to find those hemostats, and you have to use the hemostats to craft your Salewas now. Before, it was just straight up buy everything from therapist level 1, craft the Salewas. It was really, really easy. But now you need to buy those hemostats. But I turn in my last Salewa to therapist, start sanitary sanders part 1, turn my gas analyzer in because I already had it done, or I already had it in my inventory. And then essentially I was going to sort all the stuff out, but it was really late at night and I just said fuck it, and I ended up not sorting anything out whatsoever. But that's going to be it for today. I'm going to claim this Jaeger quest from getting the Jaeger's letter at his camp, start Jaeger's actual quest himself, which is just some provisions, some lunchboxes, beef, and croutons. And then next raid, we'll pretty much just gonna be looking for those items, and we're probably gonna go to customs because we have a couple of quests to do on customs. We got the gear for it, so we might as well. But if you guys stay till the end, I really appreciate it. This episode was really scuffed, and I apologize for that. The audio will be fixed for the next episode. If you guys liked it, please consider leaving a like. Consider subscribing if you want to see when the other videos are going to come out for this series. And I hope you gamers have a great rest of your day.